Good morning. It's Miss Amy here with our Judy Moody Predicts the Future by Megan McDonald. Book number 4. We are on chapter 7, Antarctica. Today we have Judy predicted it would be hard to sit still until Mr. Todd passed back the spelling test. She predicted right. She felt antsy as an anthill, jumpy as a jumping bean. At last, the time had come. Good work. Keep it up, Mr. Todd was saying as he walked around the room, passing back the tests and handing out cookies, heart-shaped cookies with sprinkles. And he was humming. Mr. Todd never hummed. And he never bought heart-shaped cookies with sprinkles, not even on Valentine's Day, which it wasn't. It had to be a sign that she, the sleeping speller, had done super-duper stupendous on her spelling test. That would definitely put Mr. Todd in a good mood. In less than 1 minute, Class 3T would see that she, Madame M, had ESP. Jeannie Dixon, famous art American fortune teller, and sleeping speller man. In less than 1 minute, Judy had her test back, and the only cookie left was a broken heart. Dear Mr. President, something was not right. Her paper did not have a Thomas Jefferson sticker. It did not have a president or a sticker. It had a feather, a musty-looking old tiny rubber feather stamp. A quill pen. A quill pen meant keep trying. A quill pen meant you have more work to do. A quill pen was as preposterous as a hippopotamus. At the bottom of her test was a note from Mr. Todd. It said, tortilla has 2 L's. Zigzag is 1 word. Judy didn't see why tortilla had any L's at all, and zigzag sure seemed like 2 words to her. She wrote her dictionary anyway. Miss Merriam and Mr. Webster were going to hear from her. All eyes were on Judy. She turned fire engine red. Hide your face in your hands red. Big, fat dictionary red. The sleeping speller was a flop. The sleeping speller was a flubber-upper. The sleeping speller was a big, fat, phony baloney. Maybe Jessica Flunk Finch got a musty, dusty quill pen, too. Judy knew it was a bad mood thought. Judy thought she was supposed to keep her eyes on her own paper, but she couldn't help herself. She turned around. Jessica Finch beamed. Jessica Finch gleamed like the day she was crowned Queen Bee and got her picture in the paper. Jessica Finch sat up straight and, proud as a president, she held up her paper for Judy to see. I knew it, Jessica said. I got a Thomas Jefferson tricorn hat. A tricorn hat did not mean flubber-upper. A tricorn hat did not mean better luck next time. Keep trying, you need more practice. A tricorn hat meant hats off to you. How did you know? Judy asked. Judy was supposed to be the one predicting the future, not Jessica Finch. I used my brain, said Jessica. Some people studied. Judy was green with jealousy and envy, and she did not need her mood ring to prove it. The class buzzed. They turned on Judy like a pack of stinging bees. Hey, what happened to the sleeping speller? The sleeping speller fell asleep. Judy Moody gave them all a Virginia creeper stare. Hold on, everybody, said Mr. Todd the Hummer. You know that in this class, we keep our eyes on our own papers. But Mr. Todd, Judy Moody said, she told us she predicted she would get 110% perfect paper. She predicted wrong. Nobody can really predict the future, said Rocky. Right, Mr. Todd? Well, we all play a part in creating our own futures, said Mr. Todd. So in the future, I hope you concern yourselves with your own work and not the work of the person next to you. That got everybody quiet. Now, let's move on to science. Take out your weather notebooks. Judy did not take out her weather notebook. She was comparing her paper to Jessica Finch's. Judy, said Mr. Todd, I'm afraid you haven't heard a word I've said. I'm going to have to ask you to go to Antarctica. Antarctica? Antarctica was the desk in the back of the room with the map on it. A map with a lot of icebergs and a lot of penguins. And a sign that said, chill out. The sign might as well have said, in big trouble. Judy looked at Mr. Todd. He did not look one bit like a Hummer. Mr. New Glasses, Mr. Crayon Tie, the teacher who bought heart-shaped cookies to the class, he looked like Mr. Toad. Judy hung her head and walked to the desk in the back of the room. Jessica Finch was Thomas Jefferson, and she, Judy Moody, was president of Antarctica. Judy was mad enough to spit. How could Madame M ever predict the future if she could not even predict one lousy spelling test? One thing she could predict was the weather. It was cold in Antarctica, cold enough to freeze spit. Okay, said Mr. Todd. Time for the weather reports. Who wants to be our meteorologist for the day? Any predictions? Weather reporter from Antarctica. Cloudy with a chance of never getting a Thomas Jefferson sticker. And that is the end of Chapter 7, Antarctica. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for Chapter 8, the VIQ chapter. Have a good day.